Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're counting down the 15 absolute best games on PS5. Games that made me stay up until 3 a.m. Games that justify owning this console. Games that reminded me why I love gaming. The PS5 library is stacked, so let's dive right in. Stick around till the end to share your picks in the comments. Let's go! Starting strong with Elden Ring, a game that consumed my life for months. From Software took Dark Souls and dropped it into a massive open world designed with George R.R. Martin, and the result is pure magic. The lands between is hauntingly beautiful and brutally unforgiving. The combat is that signature from soft perfection, weighty, challenging, and deeply satisfying. But here's what makes it special: the freedom. Getting destroyed by a boss? Just leave. Explore somewhere else. Come back stronger, or find a completely different path. The world design is insane. Misty forests, underground crystal caves, rot-infested swamps. Every area feels distinct. And with PS5's load times, you're back in action in seconds after dying, which you'll do a lot. When you finally beat that boss that's been wrecking you, unmatched dopamine rush. This is a masterpiece. Ragnarök had me crying actual tears. Santa Monica Studio took everything great about the 2018 game and cranked it up to 11. Kratos and Atreus are back, and their relationship is the heart of everything. Christopher Judge's performance as Kratos trying to be a good father while the world ends. Chef's kiss. The combat somehow got even better. The Leviathan axe recall never gets old, and the Blades of Chaos are more brutal than ever. The boss fights are legitimate spectacle. Movie-quality action that you're controlling. The 9 realms are gorgeous with virtually no load times, and side quests actually matter. If I had one tiny critique, some puzzles slow the pacing slightly. But this game is otherwise near perfect. Essential PlayStation exclusive. Spider-Man 2 is pure superhero joy. You play as both Peter and Miles, and they feel distinct. Peter's experienced flow versus Miles' electric venom powers. The web swinging is somehow even better, and I've spent hours just swinging around because it feels that good. Combat is fast and creative with gadgets, suit powers, and environmental takedowns. The story hits emotional beats while keeping Marvel humor intact. New York looks stunning with ray tracing, especially at sunset. Boss fights are creative and challenging. Minor gripe: some side activities feel repetitive if you're completing everything, but the core experience is so strong it barely matters. This is unfiltered fun. Demon's Souls was the launch title, showcasing what PS5 could do. Bluepoint took a PS3 classic and made it look next-gen. Boletaria is hauntingly gorgeous with incredible lighting and detail. The DualSense integration is phenomenal. Every weapon feels different through haptic feedback. The game itself is classic from soft brutality. Every enemy is dangerous, but it's always fair. When you die, it's your mistake, not the game cheating. Load times are basically non-existent, which is crucial for a game where you die constantly. It's hard, you'll die hundreds of times, but feeling like a legend when you overcome that challenge? Absolutely worth it. This remake is a masterclass. Horizon Forbidden West is stunning. Guerrilla Games made everything bigger and better. Post-apocalyptic California reclaimed by nature and populated by robot dinosaurs. Combat is that perfect blend of strategy and action. Analyzing weaknesses, targeting components, using different ammo types, taking down a Thunderjaw never gets old. Aloy got traversal upgrades like the Shield Wing for gliding and free climbing, making exploration smooth. The story tackles ambitious themes with genuinely likable characters. Facial animations are some of the best I've seen. Side quests are substantial and meaningful, not just filler. It's huge. Maybe too much content if you're a completionist. But that's a good problem. Performance mode looks so good I played the entire game at 60 FPS. Essential showcase for PS5. Returnal made me question my sanity. This roguelike third-person shooter is brutal, beautiful, and utterly addictive. You're Celine, trapped in a time loop on a hostile alien planet. Every death resets everything. Rooms change, enemies relocate, weapons differ. The combat is bullet hell meets third-person shooter, and it works brilliantly. You're dodging swarms of projectiles while laying down fire. The DualSense works overtime here. Atropos is hauntingly beautiful with incredible 3D audio. You hear exactly where enemies are. The story is a psychological thriller that's genuinely unsettling. It's hard. Runs can take 2 to 3 hours, and death means starting over. It's harsh, but also what makes success so satisfying. They added a suspend feature post-launch, which helps. If you like roguelikes and challenges, this is essential. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the most beautiful games ever made. Sucker Punch transported us to 1274 Japan, and every inch is gorgeous. The guiding wind instead of a minimap keeps your eyes on the world. Genius design. Jin's journey from honorable samurai to the ghost is compelling. Combat is smooth and stylish. Standoffs are tense. Duels are cinematic and challenging. The Iki Island expansion adds substantial content with emotional depth. Exploration is rewarding with meaningful collectibles. Photo mode is maybe the best implementation I've seen. It looks like a Kurosawa film. PS5 adds Japanese lip syncing, faster loads, and DualSense features. This is a love letter to samurai films made with respect and care. Absolutely essential. The Last of Us Part 2 is divisive, but putting discourse aside, this is technically impressive and emotionally devastating. The remastered version enhances visuals and adds no return mode. The game is a technical marvel with photorealistic animation and environments. Overgrown Seattle is hauntingly beautiful. Combat is tense and visceral. Resources are scarce, every bullet matters. The AI is smart. Accessibility options are industry-leading. The story about cycles of violence and revenge is dark and uncomfortable. It makes you feel things you don't want to feel. The performances from Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey are outstanding. It's emotionally exhausting but memorable. From a craftsmanship perspective, the acting, graphics, gameplay, audio, it's undeniably brilliant. It pushes the medium forward. After that heaviness, Rift Apart is pure joy. This game uses the PS5's SSD to jump between dimensions instantly with zero load times. It genuinely feels next-gen. It looks like a Pixar movie you're playing. The arsenal is ridiculous, 20 unique weapons that are all fun. Combat is chaotic and satisfying. You play as both Ratchet and Rivet, and both control great. The story has humor and heart without taking itself too seriously. DualSense features are fantastic. Every weapon feels different. It's relatively short at 12-15 hours, but it's tightly paced and respects your time. This game makes you smile. Perfect palate cleanser. Village is gothic horror meets action. Ethan's baby gets kidnapped, and he goes through 4 horror houses to get her back. Each area has its own horror theme. Castle Dimitrescu with Lady D, the creepy Beneviento house, the action-packed reservoir. Combat is satisfying with limited resources early on. Enemy variety requires different strategies. The pacing is excellent. Just when one area feels familiar, you're somewhere completely different. Visually gorgeous in a grotesque way. The story is pure B-movie horror that doesn't take itself too seriously. The DLC adds substantial content. On PS5, buttery smooth performance with ray tracing. If you like horror with action, this is essential. FFXVI abandons turn-based combat for full action, and it works. The story is Game of Thrones meets Final Fantasy, political intrigue and dark themes. Combat is Devil May Cry territory with juggling combos and icon abilities. The icon battles are massive spectacles where you're throwing mountains and shooting lasers. These push the PS5 to its limits. The world is beautifully realized with substantial side quests. The story is long and dense, 35-40 hours. Performances are excellent. Some structure can feel repetitive and level design is fairly linear, but the spectacle and story make this a bold evolution for Final Fantasy. BG3 might be the most ambitious RPG ever made. This sprawling D&D adventure respects your choices with incredible freedom. Character creation affects how NPCs react and what options you have. Turn-based tactical combat uses D&D 5e rules with depth and strategy, but the storytelling is what's special. Party members are fully realized characters with their own arcs. The main story is compelling, but side content makes it special. Every decision has weight. You can spend 100+ hours and still find new things. It's dense and can be overwhelming, but that's what makes it rewarding. On PS5, controls adapted well for a mouse and keyboard game. If you like RPGs, this is essential. GT7 is a love letter to car culture and the most polished racing sim on PS5. Over 400 meticulously modeled vehicles, each photorealistic. The driving physics balance simulation and accessibility. DualSense is a game changer. You feel every surface through haptic feedback. Adaptive triggers simulate brake pressure. Career Mode's GT Cafe teaches automotive history while you progress. Tracks are beautifully recreated with weather and time changes. Sport Mode offers competitive online racing. Customization is deep. Scapes Mode lets you photograph cars in 2500 real locations. The economy can feel grindy for expensive cars, but if you love cars and racing, this is essential. ASTRO genuinely surprised me. One of the best 3D platformers in years. Pure joy from start to finish with constantly innovative levels that introduce new ideas. DualSense integration is the best on the platform. You feel different surfaces, tension and adaptive triggers, satisfying audio feedback. It's so well implemented, visually adorable and colorful with smart level design that rewards exploration. Boss fights are creative and fun. The game is filled with PlayStation references, rescuing bots dressed as iconic characters. Main story is accessible, but 100% completion has genuinely challenging sections. My only complaint? I wanted more. It's 8 to 10 hours of quality, but I could have played another 10. This is the best showcase for what makes PlayStation special. Absolute delight for everyone. Closing with Sekiro, another FromSoft masterpiece. While originally PS4, experiencing it on PS5 at 60 FPS is definitive. Sekiro is different. It's pure action demanding mastery. You're the one-armed wolf seeking revenge in Sengoku, Japan. Combat focuses on the posture system, breaking enemy posture through perfect parries and aggression. When it clicks, it's the most satisfying combat in gaming. Boss fights are legendary. Genichiro, Ishin, Guardian Ape. They're brutal skill checks that are fair but unforgiving. Defeating them feels like a real accomplishment. The grappling hook changes exploration with verticality. You're swinging between rooftops and finding hidden paths. The art direction captures feudal Japan beautifully. It's uncompromising in difficulty. You'll die dozens of times to the same boss. But for those willing to meet that challenge, it's one of the most rewarding experiences available. Masterclass in combat design. Alright everyone, 15 incredible games. From Elden Ring's open world to Sekiro's focused action, from The Last of Us's emotional weight to Astrobot's pure joy, the PS5 has delivered across every genre. What's your favorite PS5 game? Did I miss anything? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all and love hearing what you're playing. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming content. Thank you so much for watching. Happy gaming, everyone.